I like to share athletes, like some of my athletes, their reports, like some of the topics that come up that I feel like could benefit other people. And so I'm going to share with you guys a response to the athlete I just worked with prior to this video, like right before this video. And one of the concerns in that this athlete is having is that one of his pecs is not exactly the same shape as the other pec, and it's nothing that's really glaring to the eye. It's like it's really a small issue, but for this person, it's not a small issue, and I think a lot of us, I think, can relate to that. I think there's things about myself that I'm insecure about, with my physique, like that I mentioned in the response you're going to see is that, when I'm in my off season, I tend, I'm a little bit heavier. I get a little bit soft in my pecs. I store more body fat in my pecs, so they look softish, without a shirt, and I'm a little insecure about that in public. You wouldn't think so, but I am. And there's other things I'm insecure about. I think all of us have some type of insecurity, but it's not, talked about all too often. So I think I'm really this response video, I hope it kind of helps some of you guys to kind of look at things from different perspectives. So I'm going to leave you with the response video. Hopefully at least one of you guys could take something from it. That's the reason why I kind of put videos out, is that if I could help at least just one person out there, it's worth doing these videos. And I'm sure not everybody will agree with some of the videos I put out, and that's when I see the likes and dislikes, I usually have a pretty favorable response. You always get one or two dislikes, sometimes more. Um, but so as long as I'm doing pretty well with the likes versus dislikes, I'm gonna continue pumping videos out, because it's just in my nature to try and help people and to make this sport better. And so yeah. So other than that, guys, hope you guys enjoy, and we'll talk soon. The big issue I think that I'm going to address last, and I think it's not a big issue. I think it's a big issue for you because, like me personally, there's I think the thing that kind of bothers me the most when I look at my physique is my pecs, and it's not that not when I'm like really lean, but like right now that I'm about 13 pounds over stage weight. I tend to gain all my weight in my midsection, like the majority of it. So my pecs, I carry more fat in my pecs, so they tend to look soft. So I really like have this insecurity about taking my shirt off in public when I'm like at this weight. And most people would be like, "Are you crazy? Are you stupid? You really feel that way? I mean, look at you. You're better than 90% of the general public, and you don't want to take your shirt off? You're crazy." So I think for most people, when they look at you, they don't even notice the pec. They don't notice your left pec. I had to, not until you mentioned it, where I had to really look hard, and I did see it. Not gonna say I didn't see it, but I did notice it after you had said something. So up until this whole time, I really haven't paid it much attention to it, because when I look at a physique, like when I look at physique, like on stage, I'm not searching for the one little thing um, that might not be normal, or that might be a flaw. I'm looking at the physique as a whole. How well does is the symmetry put together? How good is the conditioning, the posing, the size? So all these things I'm looking for. And I'm an experienced bodybuilder. I've done 31 shows. I've been competing since 1993. I've been to a lot of shows, and trust me, when I'm like on either on stage or I'm in the audience looking at shows, I'm not searching for, that one little flaw. I'm looking at the physique as a whole. And I think, with you, I think that's what's going to end up happening when you're on stage. Judges aren't going to look at your left pec and go, wow, look at his left pec. They're going to look at your whole physique. And right now, I think you're very symmetrical. I think you got a good physique. It's very symmetrical. You got pretty decent muscle, and the conditioning keeps getting better and better. So I think, when you get shredded, which you will because we're only in January and got till May, so time is on our side still. You're gonna get peeled, and that little flaw is it's like it's like you have a white car and you get this little tiny little scratch in it, and it's on the bottom left quarter panel. Um, you're not gonna notice that scratch unless you're searching for it. So that's kind of what I think your left pec is. That's how it is to me. Um, and I've had other athletes that I've had the question come up, my left pec's bigger than my right pec, my left arm's bigger than my right, those issues, and really no one notices it but that person. And I had another athlete, high caliber athlete, got his pro card, older too, early 50s, and his big concern was, Jeff, I'm older, I have loose skin on my stomach, and I'm really worried that the loose skin on my stomach, and he had a little bit on like on his sides because he was kind of heavy when he started too. That the judges were going to mark him down for that, and I told him, you know what, don't worry about it. You know what? They're going to look at your symmetry, and he was very symmetrical, and he had a lot of size, and he was well. I mean, this is a high caliber athlete, top notch. I kind of figured he'd be in the running for a pro card. I said they're going to look at your size, they're going to look at your conditioning, they're going to look at, your posing, all that. They're not even going to notice the loose skin, and even if they do, it's not going to matter because when you go compare against other people, all those good things about you are going to stand out more than the other people. He ended up getting his pro card. Long story short, and it was a non-issue. So I think same thing for you. It's like I said, it's so minor. You have other good qualities going for you that those aren't going to be overlooked. And the focus isn't going to be on your left pec. It's going to be on your entire physique, all the good qualities. So I think it's just more these. It's more sounds like more of an insecurity because it's something that you notice. It's something that you don't like. So therefore, you're thinking it's the insecurity is thinking that other people see it the way you see it. And I'm telling you, I don't see it the way you're seeing it. And I kind of told you how I see it. It's kind of like me. I'm insecure about my chest fat. Because I could grab probably like a good oh 3/4 to an inch right now, right here on my pec and rib cage. And when I take my shirt off, I look soft, but that's in bodybuilder standards. But general public standards, I look pretty good. So it's just my perspective of it is coming from the insecurity. Whereas if I walk down the street without my shirt on, someone who sees me and will go, "Holy shit, that guy's jacked." So that's kind of my best answer for you, and that's my true feelings and true thoughts on it. And just so you know, as a bodybuilder, a long time bodybuilder, I never want anybody to sugarcoat the way I look or anything like that. So I would never do that to you. I'll be straight up, upfront, and honest with you. If I say, you know what, we need to get you more shredded, or you know what, you didn't bust your ass this week, we need to bust your ass. Whatever the case may be, I'm gonna be straightforward. Um, with you. All right. So I'm gonna leave it there, dude. But I think you should really one more quick thing is that back in 2002 when I was prepping, I was on my game. 14. It was a 14-week prep. In hindsight, it needed to be like double that length, but I'm not as experienced as I am now. So basically, it was a 14-week prep. But during those 14 weeks, I was perfect. I mean, I didn't cheat on my diet once. I didn't miss a workout. I think I only missed one cardio session. I was on top. It was the best prep as far as adherence that I've ever done, ever. Um, but every day of that prep, I remember just thinking like it wasn't good enough. I need to keep pushing, need to keep pushing, need to keep pushing. And I was always looking for flaws in my physique, looking for flaws in my performance in the gym, looking for flaws in cardio, looking for flaws in my diet, constantly overanalyzing, constantly looking for flaws. And I never really appreciated what was good about me or the good things I was doing with that prep. And it really taught me a valuable lesson because when I went to the show, I did the Texas Shredder Classic. I was gunning for a pro card. I was so adamant about winning a pro card, and that's all I was focused on. And I even brainwashed myself to thinking I was going to win, and I ended up losing by 1 point. I was devastated. I was depressed. Didn't compete for 2 years, and basically it wasn't until 2009 where I approached that season with a different perspective, where instead of looking for flaws, I looked for the good things, and I opened up my mind to meeting new people at the shows instead of being so competitive, and that's where I met Eric and Alberto. I already had met Brad a few years back, but that's where I re-met him again, and we formed this team, this little team called 3D Muscle Journey, and eventually that turned out to be um, one of the best teams in the natural bodybuilding industry. Um, so, in a nutshell, I know it's hard not to look at those little tiny flaws, but look at the good things, dude. And there's a lot going on with your physique, and also there's a lot going on up here with you. With the interactions I've had, I could tell you're a really, really good dude, and on top of your game. So, a lot going for you, and try to look at all the positives, and not so much just that little one thing that's probably not going to hold you back whatsoever. All right, dude. Have a great week and a great weekend.